Beautiful sunny December day here in Baltimore. As we get ready to get underway, Jim Caldwell has been through it all this season. The injury to a superstar quarterback, other significant losses, a new defensive coordinator, but he was happy to see his guys playing hard last week, almost coming back against the New England Patriots. And on the other sideline, John Harbaugh in his 4th season here in Baltimore. He's gotten to the playoffs every year, but this may be the best Ravens team he's had, hitting on all cylinders now on offense and defense, and a lot of Ravens fans want to see just how far this team can go. Baltimore won the toss. They've deferred to the second half, so the Ravens will kick it off, and there's Billy Cundiff. He hurt a calf muscle early in the week in practice. The Ravens didn't know if he'd be able to go today, but he's ready, and he'll kick off to get things started. Joe LaFage is back deep for the Indianapolis Colts, and here we go from Baltimore. LaFage takes the knee, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Dan Orlovsky coming off a nice effort last week against New England as he heads out to make his second start for the Indianapolis Colts. 353 yards passing, 240 came in the 4th quarter as he tried to rally the Colts from behind. Still looking for his first win as an NFL starter, and he'll have his hands full today against this Ravens defense. Donald Brown starts at running back for Indianapolis. Just underway here in Baltimore. 1st and 10 for the Indianapolis Colts, who come in at 0-12 from their own 20-yard line. They'll go from the shotgun on 1st down. Orlovsky fires incomplete. Was trying to hit Dallas Clark. Up front for the Colts, Pollock starts at left guard. Jeff Saturday is the 5-time Pro Bowl center, the only player for the Colts to start at his natural position all season long. Backs and receivers, the Colts still have plenty of weapons. Dallas Clark is back this week, and Pierre Garçon is coming off career numbers last week against the Patriots. 9 catches for 150 and 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Play action. And that is caught out near the 24-yard line by Garçon. And here's that Ravens defense. They come in ranked 3rd in the league overall, 1st in sacks. They're stout up front with Nada along with Cody and Redding. The linebackers are fast and tough. Ray's still out, but Suggs has been just impossible to stop. 10 sacks on the season. And the secondary, Ed Reed is heading to the Hall of Fame when he's done. And Ladarius Webb has really stepped it up and played well. There just aren't any holes in this Baltimore Ravens defense. 3rd and 6 for the Colts. Orlovsky under pressure, and down he goes. Corey Redding, the veteran out of Texas, in his 9th year, and he has had an outstanding season for the Ravens.
Well, he came from the inside and got the big rush, and on 3rd and 7, that is enough of an obvious passing situation for the Ravens to really bring it. He goes right around Mike Pollock. Pollock had no shot against Redding. Just a quick swim move, and he was all over Orlovsky.
Pat McAfee, the punter, standing inside the 5. Ladarius Webb, who broke a return for a touchdown last week against Cleveland, fields it at the 33-yard line, and he's got some running room. Into Colts territory. Brought down at the 40-yard line of the Indianapolis Colts.
Well, the Indianapolis Colts, excuse me, Bill, the Indianapolis Colts have been injury-riddled all season. And one of the first places that shows up on is special teams, because the reserves who are usually playing special teams move up to start. And then you have brand new guys on the team starting to play special teams, and their coverage just can't keep up.
A 50-yard punt and a 27-yard return by Ladarius Webb. Great field position to start for the Ravens. Flacco checks it down. Rice. And he's got a nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Joe Flacco went over 13,000 yards passing for his career last week. against Cleveland. He's won almost 70% of his games as a starter, and that puts him in some pretty good company with the likes of Joe Montana, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning. 8 yards on first down, 2nd and 2. Rice left side, and he'll have a first down. Brought down at the 26-yard line. The Ravens up front have been outstanding. They've allowed just 3 sacks in the last 4 games. Matt Burke hurt his shoulder last week, but he's in today, making his 93rd straight start. Backs and receivers. Ray Rice was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week for his spectacular performance against Cleveland. A career-high 204, 11 touchdowns on the season, and he leads the AFC in total yards from scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the Indianapolis 26-yard line. First possession for the Ravens. Rice picks up a couple. The Indianapolis defense up front, they've got 2 of the best in the business, rushing the passer, Freeney and Mathis. The linebackers, they have a good one in the middle. Anger is 2nd in the league in tackles, banged up last week, but back starting again today. And the secondary has been a problem for the Colts. They lost Gerard Powers for the season last week, so Chris Rucker, the rookie, starts today at right corner. 2nd and 8 for the Ravens. Nice little move by Ray Rice, and he's inside the 20, about 2 yards short of a first down. Fili Moala, the defensive tackle, made the stop after a pickup of 5.
Well, Ray Rice getting started here early. First pass of the game was to Ray Rice. Then every run play right, turning right back, handing it to him. You know, he's getting to the point now where he's getting so confident in his offensive line, he just waits for the play to develop. When he makes his cutback, usually it's one cut and he's gone. It's been a really, really solid running game this far.
They give it to Rice. He's got a first down and more. Ray Rice inside the 10 and spun down by Jacob Lacey at about the 8.
Right here's Ray Rice. He's going to come back, stand next to Joe Flacco, and then he never stops. Just keeps going, goes right in behind the big defense, or big left tackle, Bryant McKinney, who just walls off the outside of the defense and allows Rice to pick his spot. Lots of open running room in the early going here for Baltimore.
Ricky Williams has checked in now at running back for the Ravens. They go from the I. 1st and goal. Opening possession set up by a 27-yard punt return from Ladarius Webb. Flacco fires. Touchdown, Torrey Smith.
Well, Joe Flacco had no sense of urgency. He had plenty of time to wait on a long developing route from Torrey Smith running deep into the end zone. Watch, Ricky Williams, Vontae Leach both move to the right. Leach takes the first guy. Then they switch back and forth. Tremendous job by Ricky Williams and Vontae Leach in the backfield, giving Joe Flacco plenty of time to find Torrey Smith on the long comeback route in the end zone.
Cundiff on to try the extra point for the Ravens, and it's 7-0. That was the first touchdown pass that Joe Flacco has ever thrown against the Indianapolis Colts, and they lead 7-0. The Ravens strike first, an 8-yard touchdown pass. Flacco to Smith. The Ravens today are trying to snap an 8-game losing streak against Indianapolis. It's been since December 2001, 10 years since the Ravens have beaten the Colts.
Joe Flacco, guy makes all the throws, doesn't get called upon very much because of the quality of the run game and their defense. And they're pretty happy with Joe Flacco. As long as he doesn't turn the football over, they've got a chance to win.
Line drive kick by Cundiff. LaFay's bringing it out and slips down across the 15, still on his feet. Gets up and runs it out to the 27-yard line. So the Colts will have their second possession of the ball game. Orlovsky takes the field. Back to Baltimore after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Verizon, your holiday smartphone destination.
Seven 0 Ravens. Dan Orlovsky came out and completed his first 7 passes against the Patriots last week. As the Colts take over 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. I formation. Brown is the deep back. They give it to him. Tries to get to the edge. Turns the corner and out of bounds. Orlovsky told us he had only 3 days of work, Steve, with the starters as the flag is down. Before that, he hadn't really gotten many first-team reps.
Yeah, he was throwing the scout team, meaning he was getting the defense ready to play the opponent, and he didn't get a chance to throw the first
Grabbing
one.
the face mask. Defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Darius Webb called for the infraction.
As this play bounced out to the outside, the pursuit actually pushed it wide. It was well defended by the Ravens. It was interesting, the safeties Pollard and Ed Reed somersaulted or rotated before the snap, and Orlovsky, because of a fake snap count, got him to expose that, kept him in the right play, changed the protection, allowed that play to be successful rather than getting thrown for a loss.
So 5 yards plus 15 more puts the Colts near midfield. 1st and 10. Wow. Stop for a loss. Back at the 45-yard line, Corey Redding led the charge.
Well, he's playing inspired here in the first couple of series. The offensive line of the Colts was just looked overmatched. The penetration, you see there, Haloti Ngata holding up his guy, Corey Redding knifing in from the right side of the offense. I mean, there was just nowhere to run. The defensive line just completely dominated the line of scrimmage.
A loss of 3. The Colts have not had the lead at any time in their last 7 games. It's been since week 5 against Kansas City that they weren't playing from behind. Brown dives forward to the 49-yard line. Pick up a 4. Jameel McClain, who's playing for Ray Lewis at middle linebacker, made the stop.
Well, with the sack that they just got, or the tackle for loss right before that play, it brings up a 3rd and 9. That's exactly where you don't want to be. You see there Peyton Manning. I mean, there's nothing he can do to help right now. It's up to Dan Orlovsky, but this is exactly the kind of situation that leads to bad things happening when you're playing the Baltimore Ravens and Ed Reed in the secondary.
You do not want to find yourself in 3rd and 9, especially against this defense. And here they come. Orlovsky slings it. Almost picked off. He was trying to hit Austin Collie, and Kerry Williams had a good bead on an interception. That'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it's just what we've spoken about. Orlovsky throws it out there. This should have been intercepted. Watch as Williams gets his hand on it, pulls it into his body, and can't find the handle. It's the exact kind of situation that puts Dan Orlovsky in an impossible win. 3rd and long against this defense with the lack of experience in this offense is disaster.
McAfee on to punt it away. Good high punt. Angling toward the sideline. Joe Flacco back to work. His Ravens leading 7-0 here in the first. And we're back. 8 minutes left in the first. 7-0 Ravens.
You look at that last drive after the 27-yard punt return by Ladarius Webb. First play from scrimmage to Ray Rice, then some handoffs to Ray Rice, and it ended up with the 8-yard touchdown pass with beautiful protection. Joe Flacco right on the money to Torrey Smith.
Ian Cameron has a lot of weapons to work with now with this Ravens offense, but they're still basically a team that likes to run the football. They ran it a club record 55 times last week against Cleveland for a total of 290 yards. That's the 3rd biggest rushing day in Ravens franchise history.
We spoke to all these Ravens and went over and watched them practice on Friday, and make no mistake, this is a club that is focused on the postseason, and they are getting better every week, and they're focused on getting better. The culture in and around that facility is palpable.
Power I formation. They give it to Ray Rice, stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Picks up maybe a yard. Well, vote today to send your favorite players to the 2012 Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Vote online or with your mobile device at NFL.com/Pro Bowl or text Pro Bowl to MyNFL. That's 69635.
Yeah, that guy's going. Although the voting isn't done yet, I'm thinking that guy, 27 for the Ravens, is going to be there.
Hard to imagine him not going to his second Pro Bowl after the season he's had, coming in today needing 74 yards to reach 1,000 for the season. 61 yards shy of 4,000 for his career. Flacco to the sideline. Smith makes the catch about a yard short of the marker. Jacob Lacey, the left corner, made the tackle.
Well thrown by Flacco just before he comes out of the break. This ball's already in the air, and you can see he comes out, and it's already halfway towards him. That's when a quarterback and a receiver are feeling each other and have some experience with each other, and the quarterback trusts that receiver and knows him. That's why you can make that throw. Flacco, that ball was out of there well before Torrey Smith even turned around.
And every time they complete one of those short to Smith, you just think they're setting up something for later.
Well, that's been
because
the
he's
thing,
got the speed to go deep.
Absolutely.
3rd and 1. First down and more for Ray Rice. Out to the 30-yard line. David Caldwell, the strong safety, made the stop after a pickup of 5 and a first down for the Ravens.
When you talk about this offense, as you see Ray Rice just run it right up the middle, right behind Vontae Leach, and of course Marshall Yanda pulling around in front as well. They do this so well that teams start to lean on it and go for it and jump at it. Defense is going, and then all of a sudden Flacco pulls it out and throws it over the top, and they haven't been able to do that in years past. This year they can.
From the 30, Flacco, incomplete over the head of Lee Evans. Lee Evans, who missed 7 weeks with an ankle injury, back healthy, and the Ravens are excited to see what he can do. Came in needing 13 yards to reach 6,000 in his career.
Yeah, he's the third guy in the wide receiver rotation. It's Anquan Bolden, then Torrey Smith, and Lee Evans. Lee Evans is a fast guy, and even though he hasn't had the numbers, you still got to cover him, and he still forces that defense to think about going over the top. So 2 of those guys out there with Smith and Evans, with Bolden inside.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Flacco, center of the field. That's caught by Ed Dixon, the tight end, for another Ravens first down to the 44-yard line, a pickup of 14. Ernie Sims, the linebacker, made the stop.
And right now, Joe Flacco can do anything he wants. The 4-man rush, and nobody can get home. White Freeney and Robert Mathis really relied upon by this club, as really is the whole defense and pass defense. It's those 2 guys. They've got to get to the quarterback and force bad throws.
Flacco will throw again. Torrey Smith tried to break free, but gets it inside the 45-yard line down to the 44. Lacey made the tackle after a pickup of 12 yards and a first down.
We spoke about in the open that this Colt secondary is decimated by injuries, and it is, which allows them, the receivers for the Ravens, to just win their matchups. And without a pass rush, Joe Flacco can really pick his spot, make any throw he wants, and it's going to have to be up to that front 4 to make that change.
Trying to set up the screen to Rice. Rice cuts it back, has some running room, Ray Rice. And finally brought down at the 26-yard line by Bethea, the safety. 18 yards on the play, and the Ravens are on the move again.
Well, what can you say? I mean, Joe Flacco comes back. Ray Rice going to slip out, catch the ball, and then follow his blockers right up the field. 2 great blocks downfield. You see all the purple jerseys trying to get out in front of him. If Bethea doesn't make that tackle, it's going to be an even bigger play. This offense is clicking because that offensive line gets out and gets in front of that runner.
Ricky Williams takes the toss, cuts it inside, some tough running down to the 22-yard line. And let's go to JB in New York for an update on New England and Washington here in Week 14.
Hey, Bill, and X-Skin leading the way.
Yes, Andre Carter. Rex Grossman holds it too long, goes on the ground, fumbled. Vince Wilfork picks it up in the end zone. 7-0 New England early.
Ex-Washington player Andre Carter with his 10th sack of the year. Now 7-3 with that Washington field goal. Bill McAtee, Steve Tasker.
All right, fellas, thank you. The Patriots can clinch a spot in the postseason with a win today and a loss by the Jets. Flacco on second down to Leach, the fullback. Vontae Leach. And finally brought down at the 15-yard line. David Caldwell and Cavell Connor, the linebacker, combined to make the tackle.
Well, we talked to a lot of Ravens, and if you want to know how a good team gets better, you sign guys like Vontae Leach in the offseason. Ray Rice said he's a match made in heaven for me. He is, well, he's legendary in the present-day NFL. That guy in front of Ray Rice can get it done. He catches it, and he can move people.
He may be the unsung hero of this Ravens offense. Right side. Rice trying to cut back. Picks up 2.
Yeah, Vontae Leach is right here. Watch him as he gets out in front. Now, a lot of times, some defenses say, well, wherever number 44 goes, we're going to think the ball is going there. And you see the defender, Lacey, comes up, and, man, he's just hoping to take that block and live through it.
He and Ray have become close friends. Ray says he's like the irritating little brother. He'll do things to push his buttons. But he's done just a terrific job lead blocking for Ray. And you talk to somebody like Robert Mathis, and they have a lot of respect for the job he does. No gain there by Rice.
We spoke to Mathis yesterday, and we asked him about Vontae Leach, and he kind of got this look on his head, kind of whispering, oh, he's a full-grown man.
He said, I love the way he plays, but I hate playing against him.
Yeah, that guy is a force on an offense that a defense really, it's almost like having an elite pass rusher on defense. That guy you have to find.
And now we have a flag, and it looks like a false start.
False start. Offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Dennis Pitta, the tight end. Clete Blakeman, our referee today. 12th play of the drive upcoming. It's been impressive so far on offense for the Ravens. So they move him back. It'll be 3rd and 13. Flacco under pressure. Got rid of it just in time. Incomplete.
Yeah, this is their first red area on this drive, and watches Joe Flacco, the 4-man rush, and this is what Indianapolis needs. That's a great spin move, but it's the inside rush that gets home.
It was Fili Moala, who had his first career sack last week against New England, putting the pressure on. So we'll see Billy Cundiff, 26 of 34 in field goal tries this season. This from 36 yards out. He missed 2 of 3 last week in the swirling winds in Cleveland. But he's been money, and his money right there, extending the Ravens' lead with 1:20 left to go in the first. 10-0 Baltimore.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. And by the 2012 Jeep Wrangler Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Edition.
The Ravens are a perfect 6-0 here at home this season. They've had a tremendous home field advantage over the last couple of seasons. They've won 16 of their last 17 here at M&T Bank Stadium. Billy Cundiff ready to kick it away to Joe LaFage, the rookie free agent out of Rutgers, who's back deep for the Indianapolis Colts.
After that last drive, Baltimore's got 9 plays of over 5 yards from scrimmage. Indianapolis has 0.
10-0 Ravens. Fielded at about the 5 by LaFage. Still on his feet as he bounces off the pile and finally swarmed under at the 20-yard line. And that's where the Colts will take over 1st and 10 when we come back. The last time the Indianapolis Colts scored a first quarter touchdown was way back in week 5 against Kansas City. Pierre Garçon took Curtis Painter's pass and ran it in for a 6-yard touchdown. That was also the last time they held the lead. They have not had the lead at any time in their last 7 games. Orlovsky off the play action. That's caught and out of bounds at about the 25-yard line, the tight end Anthony Hill.
Once again, Baltimore seems to have a great defense called against that play. An off-corner rush right into a bootleg. Orlovsky fakes the handoff, takes a little courage to do that as a quarterback, turn your back on the defense and then turn around. And once he turned around, he hit a guy right in his face and had to get rid of the football a little bit before he wanted.
DeLon Carter is in at running back, the young man out of Syracuse who has had some issues with ball security, and it's Carter who's brought down at the 27-yard line. Came in averaging 4 yards a carry with a couple of touchdowns.
And this is where Indianapolis sets themselves up to be a little more consistent. Now it's a 3rd and 4, much more manageable than the 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9 that they've been facing the last 2 drives. Gives them much more chance to convert and get something going offensively.
Joseph Adai has come into the ball game on 3rd and 3. And they don't get the play off as we have reached the end of the first quarter. 10-0 Ravens, and we'll return to Baltimore after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Back and ready to start the second quarter. It's been a long time since both of those guys were on the sideline during a game between the Ravens and the Colts. 3rd and 3. The Colts with a total of 1 first down in the first quarter, and that was via a penalty. Incomplete, intended for Pierre Garçon. And the Colts will have to punt. Jimmy Smith had the coverage.
Yeah, got there a little early, playing really aggressively on Garçon. He's got a safety over the top. You look here, he just comes in right over the top, knocks it away. Throw is down low and away. Jimmy Smith got his arm in there. That was well defended. There was some contact, but that's a good no call by the official, and the Ravens playing aggressive on the outside.
McAfee's punt. He booms it. Webb feels it at the 25-yard line and slips down just across the 30. Got a sports fan on your list? CBSSports.com shop has officially licensed NFL gear and 3-day shipping on every order at shop.cbssports.com. That guy brought his own face paint. Yeah. Looking good. They have such great fans here in Baltimore. Ravens take over after the 48-yard punt. Ricky Williams is alone in the backfield. 10-0 Ravens. Flacco. Anquan Bolden. Jacob Lacey made the stop, and once again, let's send you to New York and JB with an update.
Rob Gronkowski now a record holder.
Yes, he's making history. This touchdown pass from Tom Brady is 14th of the season, making the most ever by a tight end in NFL history.
Bill McAtee showed that face paint on the fan there. I was hoping that wasn't my neighbor, Wayne Davis. My goodness, thank goodness it wasn't. Bill McAtee and Steve Tasker.
JB, if your neighbor's wearing that, you're in the wrong neighborhood.
JB and Dan, thank you very much. Some important games around the league here in Week 14. They give it to Leach, the first man through. He's got a nice pickup and a first down to the 46-yard line.
Well, you want to know how a team is really hitting on all cylinders. You get a first down play of 9+ yards, and then hand is the first guy through for a hard run, quick dive for another 6 yards, and first down. You see how, you see it. It happens so fast. Mathis has to stop his momentum, turn back, and try and catch Leach from behind on a dive.
In his 8th year out of East Carolina, came in after a Pro Bowl season with Houston blocking for Arian Foster's. Mathis is shaken up on the play. Williams Ricky Williams trying to fight toward midfield, brought down at the 49-yard line by Connor, the linebacker.
You talk about Ricky Williams and how his relationship with Ray Rice is. Ray Rice having 200 yards last week, and you talk about guys, it doesn't happen very often that guys go for 200. And it's even more in a more elite group who's done 200 yards one week and then come back and answered it with a 200-yard game the next week. Ricky Williams is one of those guys who has done that.
Ricky stays in the game. He's the deep back. Flacco with the short drop to the sideline. Incomplete. Nice job by Lacey closing in a hurry. And that'll bring up third down. Torrey Smith was the intended receiver.
At the top of your screen is a quick comeback, and that's the one thing. That throw wasn't as early as the one we saw a few moments ago. It gets up in the air. And this really should have been caught by Smith. Lacey does a nice job. His hands hit the ball. Smith's hands hit the ball, and Lacey bangs his right arm to knock his grip loose.
So 3rd and 7. Ravens 2 of 3 on third down so far. 10-0 Baltimore. Flacco checks it down to Rice. He's got a first down. Ray Rice came in first in the AFC in yards from scrimmage. He is such a complete running back. 3rd in the AFC in rushing. 1st in receptions by a running back.
He's just going to go right out into this area, and it's so defenses allowed offenses to do this. If it's a 3rd and a little bit longer, they'll back up, let you throw a short pass, and then come up and make the tackle. The problem is Ray Rice drags 3 guys past the first down marker. You got a guy like Ray Rice, give it to him, and he drags those guys for the first down.
So 9 yards and a fresh set of downs for the Ravens. On the move again. Flacco buys some extra time, finally slings it out to Smith. That's caught at about the 25-yard line. Lacey made the stop after a gain of 17.
If there's one thing, as you see Torrey Smith getting up, talking a little bit to Lacey, there's one thing Joe Flacco could do well, in my opinion. This is it. Buying himself more time in the pocket. He does a great job. As you see Mathis come around behind him, he moves out to his right and gets rid of it just before Mathis gets there. If Joe Flacco could do that more often, I think this Baltimore Raven offense would take it to a whole new level.
1st and 10. Flacco will throw again, and that's almost picked off. In and out of the hands of Antoine Bethea. Dennis Pitta was the intended receiver, and Bethea perhaps distracted by all of the open field in front of him.
Well, there are only 2 guys out on the route, Bolden and Pitta. And Bethea had all the confidence in the world to jump that short route and let Anquan Bolden run over the top, and Joe Flacco didn't see him.
Bethea is the veteran in this Colts secondary. 2nd on the team in tackles with 102, 2-time Pro Bowler. On 2nd down, Flacco throwing again. Flashing across the middle, there's Pitta. And he's got another first down for the Ravens.
Well, we suspected if Baltimore came out and started running the football that the Colts would do everything they could to make them start throwing it. Well, they are, and now Joe Flacco's picking them apart, with the exception of that one almost interception a moment ago. It doesn't seem like he's missed too many throws. We saw one knocked away from Torrey Smith, but it's hard to remember an incomplete pass from Joe Flacco.
16 yards on the play. Flacco 11 of 15 for 126 and a touchdown. Bolden down to the 6-yard line. Chris Rucker made the stop.
On the red zone, Baltimore's number 22 in the National Football League, but they score 90% of the time. The problem is they just don't score enough touchdowns down here. And this getting this ball out to Bolden, he's a big, strong receiver. Just let him get it down a little closer. Gives you 2nd down on the 6. But this red zone offense for the Ravens needs to score more touchdowns. They've settled for field goals all too often.
2nd and goal after the pickup of 3. Ray Rice, touchdown Ravens. His 12th touchdown of the season.
Well, the blocking up front was good. Ray Rice bounced it to the outside, and the receivers and tight ends got down the field at the goal line and held off the defenders. Watch this. He just goes in, and there's just nobody there. Everybody's pushed out into the... Watch, Ed Dixon comes out and pushes Lacey all the way back into the back of the end zone. Wow.
Cundiff on to try the extra point, and he gives the Ravens a 17-0 lead. The Ravens have scored on all 3 of their possessions so far. Ravens are making it look easy so far. They come in peaking at the right time. They've won 3 straight, 5 of their last 6, trying to put together a nice run to close out the regular season. The Indianapolis Colts, meanwhile, just want to win. Starting to run out of time here as we've reached week 14.
Yeah, this is the team in the Ravens. They've got to keep pace in the AFC. It would be an enormous achievement if they can get home field advantage throughout the playoffs, playing the way they do here in this building.
LaFage back deep once again for the Colts. From the 2. LaFage. And a fine return into Ravens territory. Tom Zibikowski finally brought him down.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by New York Life Insurance Company. Garmin. Give a Garmin GPS this holiday season. And by the Philips Norelco Senso Touch 3D. A great shave, dry or wet with gel or foam.
After the 51-yard return, the Colts will have their first play in Ravens territory. From the Baltimore 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Colts trail 17-0. Orlovsky, ball stripped away. Scramble for it. Terrell Suggs knocked it loose. And the Colts keep the football.
With it, yeah. Suggs, you saw it come out around the end. He had a speed rush right around the outside. Costanzo just can't get enough of him, and he swipes down on the ball, fumbles right out in the pocket, and then that is almost just it's whoever can grab it and hang on to it, because it's not easy to keep hold of it, even if you get a good grip on it. Those guys are going to try and grab it away from you. It's impossible. Look at that. It looks Jones has got it, and then
somehow Jeff Lincolnbach came away with it.
Oh, that's
the right tackle.
Unbelievable.
So a loss of 6, 2nd and 16 for the Colts. Pushed back to their own 47-yard line. Here come the Ravens on the blitz. Right side run with the dive. A nice pickup by Joseph Fadai, and he's close to the marker for a first down. Ladarius Webb made the stop.
That's an enormous play on 1st and 15 after the big sack. You see Pollard coming on the back side of this, can't run it down. Adai gets right out in front, falls in behind Mahaffey. Almost a first down on his 1st and 15 play. That's the best play of the day for the Colts.
So 3rd and 1. DeLon Carter is the deep back. And they give it to the rookie. And he's not going to get the first down. He'll lose a yard or 2. Gang tackle. Jarrett Johnson leading the charge, playing in his 126th consecutive game today.
Right inside, we've mentioned his name all day. Corey Redding just blows the play up. Inside charge. Lincolnbach can't get the cutoff block because he got such a good jump. And he just absolutely blew the play up.
Colts are going to go for it on 4th down, and why not? 0-12, trailing 17-0. Orlovsky has time, finally gets rid of it to Dallas Clark, his tight end. And Clark has an Indianapolis first down close to the 27-yard line.
Yeah.
Pollard made the tackle.
Even if the Colts don't get that, it would have been very difficult to second-guess Jim Caldwell's decision to go for it. As you said, there's the nice little dig route by Clark. He just goes across the field, plants, and comes back out, leaves the defense behind. Orlovsky puts it right on him. Great route by Dallas Clark. Orlovsky does a nice job of putting it on him.
First and 10. Deepest penetration for the Indianapolis Colts. Brown to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 3.
Yeah, these Colt running backs have had to kind of do it all together. Adai, Brown, Mahaffey, Felton, Carr. I mean, all these guys have carried the load for the Colts, trying to get it done because of injuries and all kinds of problems they've had offensively.
Colts trying to avoid falling to 0-13 for the first time since 1986. Just their 3rd year in Indianapolis. Second down. Orlovsky. Dallas Clark, the intended receiver, and he was looking for a flag but won't get one.
Yeah, he's coming out working there against Williams, and Williams grabs him. I don't know. You're not going to get that call. He had his hands on him, and it looked like he was going to grab some jersey, but the problem is Dallas Clark's got 2-way tape on his jersey. You can't grab his jersey. You can't get a fistful because it's like stick-up.
Dallas Clark, the Pro Bowl tight end, back after missing 3 games with a fibula injury in his left leg. So another 3rd down facing the Colts. 3rd and 7. Here come the Ravens. Across the middle, Austin Collie, and he's got a first down for Indianapolis. Down close to the 16-yard line. Ladarius Webb made the tackle after a gain of 8.
Well, the consistency for Baltimore is coming from Orlovsky getting the football out of his hand and having somebody there to throw it to. You see, he drops back 1 step out of the shotgun and releases it to Collie coming across. That's been the theme of this little drive that they've put together. It started
5 seconds, 5:35. Thank you.
It started with the good return, and they got the nice run from Adai to get that first and long, close to a first down. Now Orlovsky finding people in the secondary on the short, quick passes that are turning into first downs.
Austin Collie had his best game of the season last week. 7 catches for 70 yards against New England. First and 10 for the Indianapolis Colts. Inside the 20 of the Ravens. Brown. Nice little move to find some daylight, and he's inside the 10.
Wow, this is a nice drive by Indianapolis. They've got to keep doing this, getting the ball out of Orlovsky's hands in the passing game, and then catching the Baltimore Raven defense looking for passes and then running it at them. They had the clustered offense, 3 wide receivers right at the end of the line of scrimmage. It looked obviously like they're going to throw to one of those guys. They ended up blocking in the run game, running right behind them.
Well balanced drive, 2nd and 2 now. They spotted at the 9. Brown down to the 6, and another first down. Arthur Jones made the tackle. It'll be 1st and goal for the Colts.
Now this will be an interesting series here for Indianapolis and Baltimore. Baltimore, a quality defense. They've got red zone packages that they'll switch to, and defenses completely change here, and they kind of go extreme. They either bring like 3 guys on a pass rush and drop 8, or they rush 8 and drop 3. They kind of go extreme as a defense, and Indianapolis with a new quarterback, they might be limited in their play menu.
This is the 10th play of the drive. Orlovsky rolling to the end zone, incomplete, over the head of Dallas Clark. But Clark was well covered on the play by the safety, Bernard Pollard.
Yeah, Clark came across, and you probably could have fit this in, but it was going to take a tremendous throw. Pollard's got him, and you see you have to fit it over the top of Pollard and into the back of the end zone. And on the run, a quarterback, it's really difficult to put an arch on that throw when you're running at full speed like Orlovsky was. So that's a really almost an impossible throw, and it would have taken almost near perfection for that play to be completed.
2nd and goal for Indianapolis. Brown drives forward down to the 4-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal after a pickup of 2.
Well, this is a tremendously critical 3rd down for Baltimore. And this is a defense that doesn't want to give up anything. Done a nice job after the 1st down inside the 10. Now they've got him 3rd and goal on the 4. All you need right now for the Colts is just don't turn it over.
Orlovsky will operate from the shotgun. Incomplete. Intended for Clark, who is just short of the goal line at the 1. It'll be 4th and goal.
McClain did a nice job, planted his feet at the goal line and didn't retreat. Right here, he's going to stay right on the goal line with Clark. He's seen that on film. He knows that Clark's going to kind of go to the end zone and kind of either get just inside or just outside the end zone, have the quarterback gun it there, and then just try and reach the football over or fall into the end zone. You see that on film all the time, and McClain was all over it.
And we'll see the 16-year veteran Adam Vinatieri to try a 22-yard field goal. And he's got it. So the Indianapolis Colts are on the board with 3:06 left to play in the half, 17-3. 17-3 Ravens. And coming up on the Sprint halftime report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights from this busy Week 14. It's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. 13-play drive ends with a 22-yard field goal by Adam Vinatieri. Vinatieri, a 16-year veteran. As Pat McAfee gets ready to kick it off, Tom Zbikowski is back deep for the Ravens, 3 yards deep in the end zone. From a yard deep, here he comes up the middle. And Zbikowski barrels forward close to the 28-yard line. And that's where Joe Flacco and company will go to work.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart. And by GMC. Now during the GMC holiday event, trade up to the best Sierra ever and get some of the best offers of the year.
Well, they work in secret to stop crime before it happens. Thursday, they'll finally come face to face with the detective who wants to stop them. New person of interest Thursday, only CBS. There's a person of interest to 5-year-olds everywhere. Ricky Williams has checked in now for the Ravens as they take over 1st and 10. They spotted at the 29-yard line of the Baltimore Ravens, leading 17-3. 3 minutes left to play in the opening half. Ricky Williams powers forward to the 35-yard line, a pickup of 6. He's been, as we've said, one of those tremendous additions to this Ravens offense. Different kind of runner than Ray Rice, more of a guy who'll run over you rather than around you.
Vontae Leach comes out and lays a nice block on Angerer, opening up the hole.
Again, it's Ricky finding his way across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Fuli Moala made the stop.
You get the feeling now the Ravens just going to run it right at that defense and wear them out. Put Vontae Leach and Ricky Williams in and just hit them with a hammer up front defensively for the Colts, and then just maybe run a play-action pass and try and hit him over the top. But no question, those first 2 plays are a big hammer.
That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 17-3 Ravens. John Harbaugh, you just can't say enough about the job he's done here in Baltimore. The only coach in NFL history to take over a team with a losing record and then win playoff games in each of his first 3 seasons. And that's going to be a first down complete to Dennis Pitta. And that will move the chains for the Ravens, a gain of 6.
Joe Flacco, after those 2 hard runs first and second down, comes out and throws the quick, easy completion to Pitta. Balance is so underrated as an offense. Even when you've got one thing working better, it'll work even better if you complement it.
Flacco 13 of 17 for 135. They set up the screen to Ray Rice, and he's brought down from behind at the 46-yard line by Mathis, the three-time Pro Bowl defensive end. Pick up the 3.
Right now they're going to go no huddle. Joe Flacco picking up the tempo a little bit offensively here inside of 2 minutes.
Flacco is going to go deep. In and out of the hands of Torrey Smith.
Wow. With Joe Flacco let that pass go and it got in the air, I thought it was way overthrown. And then Torrey Smith shifted gears and caught up to it and almost pulled it in. You see his arm got held down by Lacy. Lacy gets away with what I think is an arm bar. The crowd wants a penalty.
That's what they were reacting to. They showed the replay on the big screen.
I think the reason that the official did not call it was because Lacy was looking back for the football, and they'll always let the defender do that.
That'll bring up 3rd and 7. Colts come on the blitz, and Flacco's sacked. Dwight Freeney, the 6-time Pro Bowler with the sack. That's 6.5 on the season.
Well, the Ravens are going to try and hit the home run. They just missed a moment ago, and they come back right again and try to go deep, and Joe Flacco just runs out of time. They're covered up in the secondary, and that's all the time it took.
And Dwight Freeney over 100 sacks now for his career as the Colts take a timeout. Looks good. Dwight Freeney over 100 sacks now in his career. Pierre Garçon back deep. 4th and 14. Sam Cook's punt takes Garçon back to the 7. And brought down at the 15-yard line. Well, coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights from New York. That's all coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. That was a 54-yard punt and an 8-yard return. 31 seconds left to play in the opening half.
And that 2-minute drill for Baltimore's offense could have gone a lot better. They came out and slammed it twice, got a quick completion, but then the sack and the quick tackle for Ray Rice on the screen, they just couldn't get it going. And for a team that wants to play well in every facet of their game, that's the one thing the Ravens have not done.
Orlovsky from the shotgun. But went to the feet of Donald Brown, who was able to catch it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
but that was not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, he caught it. They complete another pass like that. You see there, Orlovsky gets hit, actually got hit in the head. I'm surprised they didn't throw a flag.
Paul Kruger supplied the pressure. He's been very productive rotating in at outside linebacker.
They'll let the clock run out of that one.
And that will be that. So we've reached the end of the first half. Ravens lead at 17-3. We'll be back with the Sprint Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station. Back in Baltimore as the Ravens lead it 17-3. We're set to start quarter number 3. Bill McAtee and Steve Tasker, very methodical first half, I thought, for the Baltimore Ravens on both sides of the football.
Yeah, they controlled this game offensively. They ran the ball, stayed balanced, and scored 17 points. Really the only thing that went wrong offensively was the 2-minute drill that could have been a little bit more productive, maybe gotten down to a field goal range and got some points there. Other than that, it was pretty much a perfect half offensively. Defensively, they continue to be very strong. The only drive they gave up was after a long kick return. and held them to a field goal. So it's been everything the Baltimore Ravens have wanted out of the first half.
All right, let's take a look now at our Droid Razor play presented by Motorola. Ray Rice off a nice block from Anquan Bolden with his 10th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Ravens lead it 17-3 after 2 quarters. Baltimore trying to snap an 8-game losing streak that goes back a decade against the Colts. Pat McAfee on to kick it off. Ravens won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they'll have the football to start the third quarter. Zibikowski won't bring it out. Touchback, they'll bring it out to the 20. Let's take a look at the first half numbers.
You see rushing yards, passing yards. I mean, 10 yards passing from the Colts is just not going to get it done. 43 of the 47 total yards for the Colts came on the one drive for the field goal, and 4 other possessions that yielded just 4 yards.
Good numbers from Flacco. 14 of 19, 138. And a touchdown. Just underway in the second half. First and 10 Ravens from their own 20. Flacco to the sideline. Bolden with the catch. About a yard short of the sticks. Jacob Lacey, the cornerback, made the stop after a pickup of 9.
As Anquan Bolden has got put his foot in the ground, just stopped. Ball's there maybe a quarter of a second late, but once again, the Ravens come out and throw a little hitch route for a 9-yard gain on first down, and it really just sets up the entire drive to be successful when they're on 2nd and 2 or 2nd and 1 the entire way.
Leach, the fullback, with a nice opening and a first down. Muscling his way out to the 34-yard line, a gain of 5. Mathis made the stop.
That was a great hit at the end of this run, but once again, a quick hitch for 9 yards, and then Vontae Leach on a quick hitter up inside, and bang. That's Cavell Connor who comes up and stands him right up in the hole. Ooh. 2 good plays from Baltimore with an exclamation point by the Colts.
So first and 10 from the 34. Flacco from the shotgun. Checks it down to Rice. Nice little move, makes the first man miss. And to the 42-yard line, an 8-yard gain. Chris Rucker, the rookie corner out of Michigan State, made the tackle.
And here we are on first down. The Ravens continue to be successful. Flacco looks in the middle of the field, then comes down to his left, right real short to Ray Rice, who just sneaks out of the backfield, and with a little bit of space and making one guy miss, it's a 2nd and 2 once again for Baltimore.
Ravens trying to move to 7-0 here at home this season and trying to win 17 of their last 18. Smith falls forward. He has the first down.
And it's easy to be efficient on third down if you never get there.
Well, it doesn't matter, who you talk to. Everyone says Torrey Smith has made a huge difference in the Ravens offense. Teams have to respect what he can do deep, and that has opened things up underneath for the passing game and the running game because the safeties can't cheat up. Rice ducks his shoulder back inside, out to the 47-yard line. Pat Anger made the stop, and let's take a look at Ray Rice's day so far.
Well, as we said, the offense is really built around Ray Rice and his ability to make runs like this. He's a home run hitter, so he can go the distance if he gets some space, as you see here, cutting back across the drain for the big gain, and then, of course, getting into the touchdown. He's a short guy. He's not little, but he's short. And he's a very physical runner inside and tough to tackle.
10 carries for 40 yards, 5 receptions for 46 yards. Flacco to his tight end Ed Dixon, who's wrestled down finally at the 48-yard line of the Indianapolis Colts.
And for the first time this drive, Ravens have a third down to face on a 3rd and 3 from the Indianapolis 48-yard line. I mean, this is exactly the kind of schedule that Cam Cameron and this offense want to keep. They want to keep on the field ball possession, because the better their offense plays, the better their defense is going to play. And if you can't score on a team, you can't beat them.
3rd and 3 for the Ravens. Flacco sacked. And again, Dwight Freeney. Now with 7.5 sacks on the season. 2 today.
Well, Dwight Freeney right over here on the outside, working against Bryant McKinney. They've been working against each other since college. Right there in front of you is Bryant McKinney gets thrown over off balance, and Freeney does the spin move in. They played against each other in college when McKinney was at Miami and Freeney was at Syracuse, and McKinney shut him out, but not so today.
Sam Cook punts it away, and it goes out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. 17-3. Ravens. First possession of the second half for the Colts, and it hasn't been pretty so far for the Indianapolis offense.
Well, you see that 2 drives escalated up in negative yardage.
Carter's the deep back, and he gets it on first down, left side. Went down almost immediately. Now Ellerby, the linebacker, made the stop. He started at the will linebacker today with Ray Lewis still out.
Yes, talk about this Raven defense. The thing that you notice about it when you watch a lot of football like we do, I think it's the most passionate defense in the National Football League. With Ray Lewis in the mix, they play with an emotional level that nobody else can match. And I think that carries them through a lot of tough times. It's just the emotional content they bring to the game.
2nd and 8. Great penetration. Carter trying to battle his way back to the line of scrimmage.
In this season, the way it's gone, they've lost 3 games that all came after emotional victories. And I think that's, as you see there, what penetration. Haloti Ngata does the swim move. He gets so much penetration, he completely whiffs on the tackle. Suggs misses. I mean, 2 guys, defensive front players, missed the tackle in the backfield. This defensive front for the Ravens is overwhelming the offensive line of the Colts right now.
Suggs has never had a sack against the Indianapolis Colts. 3rd and 10. Adai is in the backfield, showing blitz. Here they come off the edge. And that's caught, but it's going to be just short of a first down by Reggie Wayne.
And we saw the Colts go for it earlier in the day. I don't think you go for it right here. You got to punt this away. And Reggie Wayne comes out just past the first down marker. That's the way the play is called. If it's a 3rd and 8, you go 8 yards. If it's a 3rd and 11, you go 11 yards. Just get to the first down marker. Reggie Wayne gets that far, but then comes back to get the football and loses the first down marker. That's on Reggie Wayne, not Dan Orlovsky.
Pat McAfee, who came in today averaging 47 yards a punt, standing back at his own 12-yard line. Ladarius Webb ready to return it. Another booming punt. Fielded at the 21-yard line. Gets to the outside. Webb. There's a flag down on the play, and McAfee, the punter, made the tackle. Let's check the penalty.
Well, this is going to be usually on the return team at that point. It was a late flag after Webb had gotten past midfield.
53-yard punt. Unofficially a 29-yard return.
During the return, holding, return team number 56. Penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Baltimore.
They call it on Edgar Jones. So they'll push him back. Ravens lead at 17-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. TD Ameritrade. And by Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at jaguarusa.com.
after the penalty, they move the Ravens back to their own 37-yard line, and that's where they'll start 1st and 10.
Still pretty good field position.
Offset eye. Rice following Leach. And he's out to the 43-yard line. Cavell Connor made the stop after a gain of 6.
We've been talking to the Ravens. We covered their game last week against Cleveland, and they said, and Ray Rice told us as well, as you see, Torrey Smith got his hands inside. That's a tremendous block by a wide receiver. And Ray Rice said that this year they've extended their running play menu to include some stretch zone plays that have really added another dimension to their run game, but it's taken Ray Rice a little time to get acclimated.
2nd and 3. Up the middle, 1st down Ravens, close to midfield.
And that last block might have dinged Torrey Smith.
Caldwell and Bethea combined to make the tackle, and
it's hard.
That is a guy they want fresh for this run down the stretch and into the postseason.
It's always a danger, and one of the things a wide receiver hates, and I used to play that position. It's hard to bring yourself to block while the guys are coming in at you full speed, and you get rolled up on it, it hurts.
Rice slashes forward down to the 45-yard line of the Colts. Bethea made the tackle.
I know Ray Rice is not going to complain, but you get the feeling at some point you don't want to overuse this guy either. I mean, he ran the ball 55 times last week in Cleveland. And as you see there, Ray Rice has got 58 rushing yards, 46 passing yards, 104. I mean, that's a lot of yards and a lot of work for a guy that you're going to need a lot in the next week or so, or next month or so as the playoffs start.
And Leach moved before the
Ball
snap.
start. Offense, number 44. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Rice alone, almost twice as many yards as the entire Colts offense.
And don't get the wrong idea. Vontae Leach is coming off the field because of the penalty. They had to switch personnel packages. He's not in trouble. Although they didn't like his penalty, he's not getting benched because he had a false start. But the penalty forced him into a different personnel package at 2nd and 10 rather than 2nd and 5.
They move it back to midfield. Flacco on the move, up the sideline. Nice catch by Lee Evans. Only his 4th reception of the season. But that was a beauty.
Well, we said in the first half when Joe Flacco did this out to the right, he moves out to his left this time, and Lee Evans has always been a tremendously graceful wide receiver, been able to make catches like that. And if they can get some production and some numbers out of him, look out.
21 yards on the play to the Colts' 29-yard line. Ray Rice out of bounds at the 10. Rice with a quick burst, and Caldwell pushed him out after a gain of 19 yards.
And that was just a quick hitter right behind Vontae Leach, who goes in and roots out the defender. That's Angerer, who once again meets Vontae Leach in the hole. And then downfield, Anquan Bolden getting his hands on Lacey.
Rice again. And really, you talked about the potential to overuse Ray Rice. That's why Ricky Williams has been such a marvelous addition to this Baltimore Ravens offense.
And you also see Tyrod Taylor coming onto the field here as well. Ricky Williams, well, he started onto the field. Now he's going to come off, and Ray Rice will stay on. Tyrod Taylor and Joe Flacco in the game. You can bet this may be a little bit of a wildcat, or if that number 2 is going to be involved in this play, I'm pretty sure.
Meanwhile, Ray Rice now over 1,000 yards rushing on the season. Flacco to Rice. Thought about cutting it back inside. Went outside and brought down immediately. That was Philip Wheeler, the outside linebacker, who came in with 70 tackles, 1 sack, and a forced fumble.
And Tyrod Taylor will come right back off. That's one of those plays. Tyrod Taylor runs a little wildcat offense. He's a quarterback, obviously a quarterback that plays behind Flacco, and they use him in situations because of athletic ability. But a play like that, when he goes in and they don't use him or he's not involved in the play, that's so that when teams watch film, they can't get 100% key on what they're going to do with him in the game.
3rd and goal for the Ravens. Flacco. Touchdown, Dennis Pitta. And that was all Joe Flacco.
That's what Joe Flacco's going to have to do to carry this team to the next level in the playoffs. He's got to extend plays and rely on his athletes in the back end, the secondary, those receivers and tight ends to find open areas and make themselves available. An incredibly dangerous throw. Late, back over the middle, that's usually a no-no, but in this case, Flacco gets away with it for the touchdown.
Cundiff on to try the extra point. Pitt is such a big target. John Harbaugh told us he reminds him a lot of Dallas Clark, a big guy who can run and catch. And the Baltimore Ravens extend their lead with 3:41 left to play in the third, 24-3. In his career, Joe Flacco has lost only 5 games here at home. He's 16-1 in his last 17 starts here in Baltimore, now with 27 touchdown passes and only 6 interceptions. Good numbers on the day for Joe Flacco as Sam Cook, the punter, has come in to kick off. Again, Billy Cundiff hurt his calf in practice this week, so they're giving him a rest. Fielded at the 2 by LaFage. LaFage has had some nice returns today and brings that out to the 27-yard line. The Ravens in control after the touchdown pass from Flacco to Pitta.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And by Cross-Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Ray Rice with a couple of milestones today, over 1,000 yards for the season and 4,000 yards rushing in his career. As the Colts take over 1st and 10, Orlovsky loses the football. And the Colts retain possession.
Suggs again, it's an absolute replay of him coming around the edge off Costanzo at the top of your screen. And he's going to come over the top and tomahawk that ball out of Orlovsky's hand, as you see there. And unfortunately there you see Ryan Deem get rolled up on, and that's one thing the Colts don't need is more injuries, particularly up front.
Joe Wright's the left guard.
Deem
pounced on the football. That's the first sack, by the way, against the Colts by Suggs.
Ryan Deem being helped off the field, and that is
he's the only
further bad news
veteran on the Colts offensive line besides Jeff Saturday. They came in with 13 players on IR, 7 of them starters. It has been a rough season for the Indianapolis Colts, and it's not getting any better today. 2nd and 15. Brown to the 24.
Talking to the offensive line coach of the Colts, Pete Metzelaars, and they feel good about their offensive line where it's headed if they could keep their guys healthy. But every team in the league, you can't carry 10 offensive linemen, so there's not a backup for everyone. There's the big guy right there, Pete Metzelaars, who played more games at tight end than any player in NFL history. But now the offensive line coach, he knows you can't carry 10 guys. You can only carry 7, maybe 8. So you can't afford to lose guys up front, let alone for the long season and having to replace them.
Colts have converted only 1 third down today. Flag on the play. And that is caught and hit out of bounds. Reggie Wayne.
That could have been a flag for Pollard hitting Wayne out of bounds. And now they're going to call the play off. There was a hold in the backfield before Orlovsky let it go.
Not to untangle.
And there was no catch on the sideline. If it was a completed pass,
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Bring the play, holding. Offense number 74. That penalty's declined. Brings up 4th down.
Costanzo called for the infraction. So
Yeah.
4th down for the Colts.
now Costanzo's already given up 2 sack strips to Suggs today, so he's not going to let it happen again. And you can say what you want to. He does the right thing. If he thinks he's going to get beat, tackle the guy. Don't let your quarterback get hit, particularly on a day like today when Suggs is getting off.
McAfee's punt goes out of bounds at around the 35-yard line. 2:05 left to go in the third. 24-3 Ravens. It's an historic moment for the country and the president. And tonight, you won't want to miss the wide-ranging interview with President Obama. Only on 60 Minutes, that's tonight, only CBS. Ravens take over with a comfortable lead. 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Ricky Williams is the deep back. Good penetration by the Colts, and that will result in the loss of a couple. Robert Mathis made the stop.
You think maybe the Colts are finally realizing that the guy lined up in the backfield is going to get handed the football on 1st down, whether it's Ray Rice or Ricky Williams. I mean, Baltimore Ravens have been first play of every drive has been a handoff, and finally the Colts kind of get that message.
We talked about the milestones today for Ray Rice. Ricky Williams came in 97 yards shy of 10,000 for his career.
And that is a great career in the NFL.
2nd and 12. Williams lowers his shoulder and tries to power his way forward to the 35-yard line.
Well, now the Ravens with a 3rd and 11. Going to have to convert. And this is the point now where Cam Cameron looks as though, without saying it, it looks like the Ravens have taken their foot off the gas a little bit. Ray Rice out for a series. 2 quick handoffs, letting the play clock run all the way down, trying to get to the 4th quarter with a 3-touchdown lead.
Good numbers from Flacco, 21 of 26 for 191 and 2 touchdowns. 3rd and long. Flacco caught. Bolden. All the way down to the 39-yard line of the Indianapolis Colts. LaFay's finally brought him down.
And right now the Ravens making it look pretty easy. Great catch by Bolden, a great throw by Flacco. And Flacco takes a little bit of a shot, not too much. That's one thing he does, though. He does face down the rush as well as any quarterback in the league. He does not back down. He stands in and throws. Doesn't always make the great throw, but he does not bail out.
26 yards on the play on 3rd and 11. So that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Ravens lead at 24-3. We'll return to Baltimore after this message and a word from your local station. The Ravens are a quarter away from snapping an 8-game losing streak against the Indianapolis Colts. Been since December 2001 since the Ravens have beaten the Colts.
B50.
1st and 10 as we start the final period. Ray Rice is back in the game. Smith on the reverse, and he's got a lot of running room. Nice pickup, and once again, let's check in with JB in New York along with Dan Marino.
Brady Gronkowski again.
Yes, Steve, this guy would make Jim Kelly look good right here. Rob Gronkowski, 2nd touchdown of the day, 15th on the year, 37-yarder. Patriots up 27-20.
I'm sure Tasker appreciates that Kelly comment. Back to Bill and Steve.
It may make Jim Kelly play good, but you can't make him look good. That guy.
How about the season Gronkowski's having? Just remarkable. Rice lowers his shoulder and tries to power down to the 20-yard line. Pickup of 2 on the play. Ray Rice as you mentioned, Steve, in the final year of his contract, and what is a nice reflection of Ray and the Ravens organization is that it really hasn't been an issue. Ray has said he's just going to go out and play ball. He'll deal with it in the offseason, and you just sense that he feels confident that things will get done in the right way.
Well, we said in the open, he's negotiating his contract in the best way possible. He's playing great.
2nd and 8 from the 21-yard line. Flacco under pressure, hit as he threw. And that was Mathis in the backfield.
And Mathis working against Michael Orr coming off the edge. The one time Mathis has actually got around the corner right here. Michael Orr gets a good piece of him. Flacco's on the deep drop and just can't push him wide enough to get him deeper than Flacco. The ball comes out on time. That's just a great rush by Robert Mathis. Started his career as a 5th-round draft choice out of Cincinnati. And I think he and Freeney both, only 5.5 sacks each coming into today. We're looking for bigger and better things this year.
They came in with 179 combined. Flacco to the end zone, and that is picked off by Joe LaFage, the free agent rookie out of Rutgers, with the interception. And Joe would like to have that back, intended for Anquan Bolden. So a turnover by the Ravens. Joe Flacco with his first interception in the last 3 games. 83 attempts prior to that pick. So they bring it out to the 20, 1st and 10 for the Colts. They trail 24-3. Carter out to the 26-yard line, a pickup of 6 yards.
Back at the interception. This is Bolden, and this is the safety in the back of the end zone. Now Bolden goes out and is going to run right to the post, the bottom of the goal post. When he gets up there, he takes his eye off the football and looks at the defender as though he thinks he's going to get lit up. And I think he could have helped Joe Flacco out. Could have been a better throw, but I think Bolden should help his quarterback out and either knock that down or at least make a better effort to get to it.
2nd and 4 for the Colts.
He looked a little bit distracted, and I can't understand what he was thinking.
Orlovsky changing the play. They come on the blitz. Orlovsky lofts it and incomplete. In and out of the hands of Pierre Garçon. 9 catches for 150 and 2 scores last week for Garçon against New England. Quiet today.
Yeah. Marcus Pollard came in, and there's no question Orlovsky saw him. Tried to get this ball to Garçon, but Orlovsky, standing in the pocket, had Bernard Pollard jumping over the top. And I mean, that was an amazing play. That guy is all over the field. He did not start for the first month of the season. Pollard did not now. I think you can't get him out of that lineup with a crowbar. He is entrenched. He's been playing great.
3rd and 4. Joseph Adai in the backfield with Orlovsky. And a flag before the snap.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Lincolnbach, the right tackle.
Ryan Dean back in the game as well, number 71 there. The guy limped off earlier after getting rolled up. That's good news for the Colts.
That's the first penalty on the day.
Healthy players are at a premium on the Colts sideline. There just aren't that many of them.
3rd and now 9. Orlovsky under pressure, gets rid of it, and throws it away over the head of Garçon.
Yeah, that penalty took him from 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 9, and that changed everything. Orlovsky just ends up throwing it away. Baltimore Ravens once again coming up with a stop defensively, and the Colts just cannot get anything done against that defense.
And look who's back deep, Ed Reed. Overall, 13 returns for touchdowns in his 10-year career. Lets it bounce, fields it, kind of casually, and brought down immediately at the 37-yard line. He always brings something a little different.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sears. Honda. Come see the wide selection and incredible offers at your Honda dealer during Happy Honda Days. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
First and 10 Ravens from their own 37-yard line. 12:24 left to play. Comfortable margin, 24-3. Rice burst through. Brought down at the 43-yard line. Let's take another look at the casual return by Mr. Reed.
Now the ball's in the air right there. You watch, he'll wave everybody away. Listen, let it bounce. Then he walks up as though it's just a day in the park, and then he grabs it and takes off.
LaFage was not fooled.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if he doesn't make that tackle, Reed's got a chance to get to the corner. You see him laughing there. He had a plan.
Second and 4 for the Ravens. Rice trying to get to the corner, turns it, and driven out of bounds at midfield. Jacob Lacey pushed him out after a gain of 6.
Well, Vontae Leach just takes you to the football. He's got right here. Watch him. He just come out, and he's going to push Matthews. Ricardo Matthews just gets past him and then goes to the corner and gets up on Lacey. I mean, it's just looking. It's one guy after the other with Vontae Leach.
Rice nearing 100 yards, 18 carries, 94 yards on the day. Coming off a 204-yard performance last week against Cleveland. Rice on the sidelines, Ricky Williams in the game, and he gets it. Brought down hard by Robert Mathis. And once again, let's give you an update on New England and Washington. Let's send you back to JB. And
just down 95.
72 yards, 10 plays, 3rd and goal. Rex Grossman to David Anderson, 6-yard touchdown that ties the game at 27.
Let's go back up 95 south to north. Bill and Steve.
And remember, the Patriots can clinch a spot in the postseason with a win today and a loss by the Jets, although the Jets are winning right now. 2nd and 11 for the Ravens. Flacco. Incomplete, too high for Torrey Smith. And that'll bring up 3rd and long.
Joe Flacco, and the guys have been making me. You notice his Fu Manchu mustache, facial hair. He can't walk in the room without somebody giving him trouble about it. I mean, the guy, his teammates, the office people, he's devout. He's not getting rid of it.
He was trying to get a little something going, get his teammates to kind of, sign up for the program, and there's about 3 other guys.
No takers.
And 2 of them, you can't even tell they're doing it. Flacco. And that's caught. It was in and out of the hands of Ed Dixon, and it was caught then by Anquan Boldin.
And that's very close to 1st down. And you're right. I mean, it just gets through Dixon's hands. Boldin just ends up with it. Ed Dixon had no shot at getting the 1st down. Boldin ends up very close.
Heads up play by Anquan Boldin, the 3-time Pro Bowler.
We talked to John Harbaugh about Joe Flacco and Anquan Boldin. As you see there, about a foot short. Harbaugh said it took Joe Flacco a while to get acclimated to Boldin because you can throw it to Boldin in a crowd and he's going to catch it. He's a very physical, very strong-handed receiver who wants the ball in traffic. And he may not get the separation other receivers do, but in essence, in his ability to catch, he's still open.
Let's see what Cam Cameron dials up here on 4th and 1.
Well, the way they've been running the football with Vontae Leach in the backfield, I think that's the first concern for the Colts defense. We'll see if it holds up here. 44 will take you to the football.
Rice. Oh no. Great penetration by the Colts. That was Cavell Connor in the backfield. We'll go over to Indianapolis on downs. 24-3 Ravens here in the 4th. 2:54 left to play. 1st and 10 for the Colts from their own 44-yard line. They trail 24-3. Orlovsky. And that is caught by Reggie Wayne. Tonight on The Amazing Race, it's the season finale. Only 3 teams remain. Can this former NFL star Marcus Pollard, who played tight end for the Colts, and his wife win it all? Don't miss the exciting season finale of The Amazing Race tonight after 60 minutes, only CBS. Brown on the delay. Down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Lion Badejo made the stop after a gain of 5.
Colts moved to the no huddle, trying to pick up the tempo once again like they were last week in New England, trying to catch up from the deficit.
Brown alone in the backfield. Short drop, tipped and incomplete. It was intended for Garcon on the slant. And there's a marker down.
Sort this out.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense, number 29. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So 1st and 10 for Indianapolis. There's been so much debate about the Colts' future at quarterback, whether they should take Andrew Luck if they end up with the #1 pick, which seems increasingly likely. And if they do, what about the relationship between Andrew and Peyton Manning if and when he comes back? And Andrew Luck was actually in Baltimore this week to accept the Johnny Unitas Award as the nation's top senior college quarterback, and he was asked about going to a team with a veteran quarterback. Orlovsky, that's incomplete, and not starting right away, and he indicated in an interview with the Baltimore Sun that that could be a positive, especially playing behind somebody like Manning, and that whatever the situation turns out to be, he was sure it would work out.
Well, unlike a lot of years, you'll have guys, scouts, and general managers who differ on the #1 or the best quarterback in the draft. Some think he's going to be great. Others think he's not going to be great. They point out his deficiencies. Nobody doesn't think Andrew Luck is going to be a home run. Everybody agrees on it, and that's why he's so unusual. Even the guys who usually disagree on quarterbacks agree he's a special player, and that guy would be the perfect mentor for a young guy coming out. I don't think there's any doubt that Indianapolis uses that pick for that player, Andrew Luck.
Trying to sort things out on the field.
It's 2nd down. Please put the play clock to 10 seconds. 10 seconds, please.
Peyton Manning, such an incredible career. 11 Pro Bowls, 9 straight from 02 to last season. 4-time league MVP. Still no specific timetable for his return, but doctors have allowed him to move forward in the rehab process. Orlovsky will throw on 2nd down. Ball is out. Scramble for it. Let's see who comes up with the football at the 36-yard line.
And they got it back.
Colts able to keep it.
Another
tremendous pressure from Suggs.
Yeah, another sack strip from Terrell Suggs. He comes in, Orlovsky goes down, Suggs grabs him, ball squirts out. It is a fumble, and don't know who got down there and got it. It might have been Orlovsky who got it back.
And Sizzle continuing to have a sensational season. 3rd and 11 for the Colts. Intercepted. And I don't know who that was intended for, but Bernard Pollard came away with the football. And the Ravens have a turnover.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint. All football, no limits, only from Sprint. And by Subway Restaurants. Give a $25 Subway card today.
Tough day for Dan Orlovsky after the interception. The Ravens take over, 1st and 10. Their own 17-yard line. They lead it 24-3. Just over 8 minutes left to play. Rice. Let's take another look at the interception. Dallas Clark was the intended receiver.
We're right up the right side of your screen, and this is overthrown. You see Clark has no chance at it. Pollard coming up to make the tackle. Runs right up underneath it and makes the play. That's about as much separation as you can get. There's no question Dallas Clark was running open. You got to put the ball on him. That's a tough throw. As we said, we were talking off, tough to make a great throw after you just had a sack strip fumble for the third time. You know, it's tough to stay in that pocket and make a good throw, but Orlovsky's got to do it.
Terrell Suggs has made his life miserable today. 3 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. Rice. Fumble ball is out. And it looks like the Colts have it at the 20. A rare fumble by Ray Rice. Purvell Connor came away with the football.
And you could tell by the reaction of the players that ball came out very early. Sometimes you think maybe it was late and he was down. But that ball, yeah, it's out before he hits the ground. You'll watch here as he comes up, follows Vontae Leach once again, starts to make a cutback, then decides against it. And there the ball is out well before his knee comes down. And the Colts end up with it.
So exchange of turnovers, and Indianapolis has it at the Ravens' 20-yard line. Just under 7.5 minutes left to play. Adai alone in the backfield. Play action. They were going to try to run the screen, but that was going to go nowhere. Incomplete.
Suggs once again gets right in the face of Orlovsky faster than Orlovsky can let the play develop. It's a slow developing screen. Orlovsky, you can see there, sees Suggs coming in. It's hard to blame Orlovsky for wanting to get rid of that football quickly after what he's been through today.
2nd and 10. Changing the protection. Orlovsky gets it out in a hurry, incomplete. It was at the feet of Pierre Garçon.
Yeah, these are throws that, you know, in normal circumstances, these are the ones that are just easy to complete. That ball alone away from Garçon, can't get down to pick it up. Tackled immediately to knock it away. Tough stretch for Indianapolis against a great defense. You knew it was going to be difficult, but even with the short field, struggling to make any headway.
Saw Jameel McClain, who's taken over at the mic for Ray Lewis, calling the defensive signals. 3rd and 10 for Indianapolis. Orlovsky gets rid of it just in time. Tipped. And what do they rule? Incomplete.
Well, it took him a while.
Reggie Wayne had a hold of the football. The Darius Webb was in there as well, and finally it's ruled incomplete.
Well, it looked horrific when it got down there. 3 defenders. You see there, it just tips it away. Then it starts to go to the ground. And then you lose sight of it. It's tipped up in the air, and then there it was against the ground. This may be a better angle as you see all the guys and the crazy things that happen to these footballs in there. And oh, it almost does pull it in. Wow.
Kerry Williams had a chance at it as well. So the Colts will go for it on 4th and 10. And now a timeout called by the Ravens with just under 7 minutes left to play. Fourth and 10 as we welcome you back to Baltimore. Ravens lead at 24-3. 6:57 left to play. It's been another outstanding performance by this formidable Ravens defense. 4th and 10 for the Colts. Orlovsky. That's caught, and it's going to be enough for the first down. Pierre Garçon with the reception.
What great throw and catch on a 4th down, must convert for the Colts, and they get it done. cluster receivers right there. Garcon comes out and kind of follows Reggie Wayne and then just turns right behind him as Wayne continues to run. Leaves the gap in the defense.
First and goal for the Colts. A dive snuffed out at the line of scrimmage.
Like we said earlier, sorry, Bill. Once we said earlier, this defense just plays with passion, and sometimes, it works to their detriment because they're so passionate. They get aggressive in tight spots rather than disciplined, and their aggression leads to some penalties. Nevertheless, though, they're one of the tough defenses in these type of games to play against.
And they want to keep the Colts out of the end zone. Second and goal. Orlovsky to Austin Collie, and he steps out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
He thought this was going to turn it up, but he steps on the sideline right where he catches it. You'll see as he tries to get in there, and not right there. Can't get any closer.
Looked like he stepped out at the 4, but they spotted it at the 3. So third and goal for the Colts. Orlovsky from the shotgun. They trail by 21. Incomplete. And he was about to be sacked and now is slow getting up.
Yeah, he got hit and hit hard by Kruger and company. Looks like he's collected himself and got up, but it looked for a moment he was laying really still on the ground. He got hit and hit hard.
Originally drafted by the Lions, spent 5 seasons in Detroit, started 7 games for the Lions in 2008, the year that Detroit went 0-16. Still looking for his first win as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. So fourth and goal. Buying time. Incomplete. Intended for Garcon. And it will go over on downs. And with the way the defense was reacting and the fans here in Baltimore, it's like the game was tied.
It really was. I mean, it's important, and that's why they're so good. Every play is important to that defense, whether they've got a 3-touchdown lead like they do here, or whether they're down by 3 points. Look at Garcon screaming for the football. Orlovsky delivers it away from the defense, which he has got to do because there's purple jerseys everywhere. And Garcon just can't get down to get it. It just demanded too tight of a throw, and Orlovsky on the move couldn't make it.
Orlovsky 9 of 25 for just 60 yards and an interception. So the Ravens take over first and 10 from their own 3-yard line. They lead 24-3. 5:16 left to play. Flag on the play. They give it to the first man through. That's Vontae Leach, and he gets it out across the 5-yard line to the 6 or 7-yard line.
Offside. Defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
A hard count by Joe Flacco. The perfect time to do it deep in your own end. Try and get a little cheap 5 yards right over the football. He just twitches, gets right over the line of scrimmage, and the official calls it. Great job by Joe Flacco. It's a smart time to use it on those crucial downs when you need some space or on a short yardage play.
Ray Rice back in the game. 5 yards short of 100 on the day. They give it to Rice, trying to get to the perimeter, turns the corner, and brought down just short of the 10.
Yeah, this is a hard defense to run wide on because of the speed of Mathis and Freeney.
And that's Philip Wheeler clutching his right leg.
This defense was built, and we all know it was built for a little bit of a different offense than we've seen here in 2011. This is a defense built to maintain or control a lead in a game. And facing the teams that they have when they're never in the lead, and these teams are running the football in a physical ground attack, it's hard for them to stand up, but they're still got speed, and it's hard to run wide on them.
Timeout on the field, 4:33 left to play. tomorrow on CBS. There's no better way to celebrate the holidays than a wedding, Hawaiian style. Don't miss a festive new Hawaii 5-0 tomorrow. Only CBS. Wheeler on the bench. Helped off the field. 4:33 left to play. Dan Orlovsky, long day for that young man in his 7th year out of UConn.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a one-sided conversation on that phone call, I'm sure. When you're upstairs, they're trying to probably give him some support and some positive things to think about when he gets back on the football field. But, you know, that you spend all too much time in desperation mode when you're down and you can't get a stop against an offense like they have, plus an offense that can run the football like Ray Rice has been able to do today.
Dan and his wife Tiffany, by the way, have a lot on their minds these days. They are expecting triplets in a few weeks. We had a chance to talk with Dan yesterday, a nice young man, and we pointed out to him, when you have triplets, you can no longer play man. You got to go zone.
Yeah, that's right.
2nd and 4. Leach, he's had a busy day out to the 12-yard line. And once again, let's check in with JB and Dan in New York for an update.
Breeze inching up on Johnny U.
Yes, Drew Brees, 40th straight game with a touchdown pass, 35 yards down the middle of the field. Nobody's there. Marcus Colston with a touchdown, 16-10 Saints.
Your Niners, of course, with 47 straight games. Back to Bill McAtee and Steve Tasker.
All right, guys, thank you very much. The Saints can clinch the South today if everything falls right. 3rd and 1 for the Ravens. Inside of 3.5 minutes remaining. Ray Rice out to the 15-yard line. Anger made the stop, and that should put him right at 100. Officially just short, 99 yards on 23 carries for Ray Rice. 6 catches and 46 yards.
He came out of the game last week in Cleveland with 196, and his running backs coach Wilbert Montgomery, who is a great running back. He understands how it works, and he said, you know, Ray, you might want to go back in for a couple more plays, and Ray Rice was right. He was right. I mean, it would eat at him if he didn't get the 200 being that close.
He needs a yard, and he might have it.
Barely. But running backs, you know, it's important to them. There are milestones, and 100-yard games are, 200-yard games are historic in a back's career. I mean, they're big things. And he was 4 yards short. There you see Wilbert Montgomery, who went over and quietly said, listen, and he was out of the game. He said, you got 196. And after just a split-second thought, Ray told us he knew it would eat him up if he didn't go back in and get those yards.
He didn't think about it for too long. 2:37 left to play. Colts with 3 timeouts. Ravens down to 2. Power I formation. Ray stays in the game. He's the deep back at 2nd and 9. He gets the football. Moves the pile forward.
If you think about this team headed to the playoffs and you look at what they face, this is it. Pittsburgh 10-3. Baltimore, if they win today, they will switch places in that scene there with Pittsburgh. They'll go to the top of that list. Pittsburgh will go to where Baltimore is, because Baltimore has swept Pittsburgh and wins the title.
Texans are losing to the Bengals, but the AFC North is always a rugged division.
And more so this year with the emergence of Cincinnati, with A.J. Green and Andy Dalton playing the way they are as young players.
Ravens swept the Steelers, so they have the tiebreaker there, and they won earlier this season against the Bengals a few weeks ago. 3rd and 7, movement. Rice gets it to the 20, but let's check the penalty.
He did it again. Joe Flacco with a hard count. made the defenders twitch into the neutral zone is going to be against the Colts again.
Offside. Defense, number 27. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Well, when you're 0-12, one of the reasons why is this. Joe Flacco with a hard count, getting the defensive line just to twitch. And he's been in control today. He had the one throw down the middle to Anquan Bolden in the end zone that led to the interception. Other than that, he has been pretty good.
23 of 31, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that interception.
Now we've got a question about the play clock.
Stop play on 3rd and 2.
Maybe a timeout. Cleek Blakeman there talking to his crew. In the back of those, Jim Caldwell looks on. Even the head coaches don't seem to understand why this was happening.
Please set the game clock to 2 minutes, 27 seconds. 2:27.
And there you have the reason.
Meanwhile, Wheeler leaving the field. He was in a lot of pain there on the sideline.
Now the officials still not quite ready for play as they have another board meeting.
Correction. The game clock should be set to 2 minutes, 31 seconds. Thank you.
Now, they took 5 of it off and then put 4 of it back on.
So we net 1.
And the fan, net 1. The fans who are still here are not happy with that.
Third and 2, Rice. Yeah, short of the first down.
And Indianapolis will take their timeout. You look at what lies ahead for the Ravens as they try to keep pace today with the Steelers.
Big game upcoming for the Steelers against San Francisco out west. For the Ravens, they've got a pretty easy road except for Cincinnati at the end, San Diego, then Cleveland, and finally they finish it up against the Bengals.
And if you look at if you add up the wins losses of each schedule, they are exactly the same number of wins and losses for the 3 teams involved. So coming down the stretch, somebody's going to win, and it looks like they may win by a nose, whichever team it is.
Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the NFL Today update presented by Verizon. Join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights from Week 14.
Those 2 teams, Pittsburgh and Baltimore, met in the championship game a few years ago, and they've met in the playoffs each of the last couple of years, and it is a dogfight, and I think home field is the deciding factor.
Good punt by Cook. LaFage brought down immediately at the 24-yard line. Tremendous coverage by David Reed, who got down the field in a hurry after the 52-yard punt. And Saturday, CBS Sports brings you a big NCAA basketball doubleheader. First, Butler battles Purdue, and then number 20 Memphis faces 4th-ranked Louisville, or Gonzaga takes on Arizona. NCAA basketball next Saturday here on CBS. Well, the Ravens have not played a home playoff game in the John Harbaugh era, as the Colts take over 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. They run the slant to Garcon. They are such a tough team here at M&T Bank Stadium that they're really focused on trying to get that home field advantage. As we near the 2-minute warning, they have a home winning streak. They'll extend to 9-0 today. So home field advantage very much in the thoughts of the Ravens. And coming up next, Carson Palmer and the Raiders head to Lambeau to take on Aaron Rodgers and the unbeaten Packers. or the Bills battle the Chargers. Check your local listings for the game in your area. The NFL on CBS. Orlovsky caught by Reggie Wayne. And he takes it out to the 43-yard line. Jameel McClain made the stop. No huddle for the Colts. Finally over 100 yards total offense on that previous play, but just barely. Orlovsky to Collie, and he's into Ravens territory. We talk about the way the Ravens have played here at home since December of 09. They are 15-1. They'll be 16-1 after today here in Baltimore. No team in the league has a better home record during that span than the Ravens. Holly again steps out of bounds. First down for the Colts.
You talk about, we've spoken about it. There's Chuck Pagano, defensive coordinator of the Ravens. Got a lot of credit from his players about the San Francisco game on Thanksgiving they played here. Called a masterful game and has continued that here today. This defense continues to play at a high level.
Pagano has done an outstanding job. That's caught by Garcon.
So much has been said about Ray Lewis and the great career he's had being out for the last month. Pagano hasn't missed a beat. He put Jameel McClain in there, as you see Ray on the sidelines watching his team win yet again with him on the sidelines.
They expect Ray to be back next week against San Diego. Caught by Reggie Wayne. That'll be another first down.
This team, so many great players all over it, continues to focus on the playoffs in the next month and a half of their season. And I'll tell you, if this team gets home field advantage through the playoffs,
look out.
Forget it. They are so
ready to be
good.
A big part of that stretch run, and
it's so easy. It's so easy when you go in and talk to this team, particularly the Ravens I'm talking about. They have such a great culture in their organization, starting from Ozzie Newsome all the way down through their players and coaches.
3rd and 1 to the end zone. Garcon can't hang on to it. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Just losing the balance right there. Chucky Brown loses it. It looked like he was going to try and gather himself to go up and pick it off and just stumble.
29 seconds left, 4th and 1 for the Colts. They've been held out of the end zone today. Orlovsky on the slant, got rid of it just in time to Garcon, and that's going to be a first down for Indianapolis. Colts out of timeouts.
Kruger and McClain really laid it on Orlovsky right there, and he got rid of it.
13 seconds remaining.
He had to look at that. He's not all together from that last throw that he completed. He got up and spiked that ball, but he has gotten harassed in the pocket, as you kind of figured he would, going against this defense for the Baltimore Ravens and the injuries of their offensive line and around Orlovsky. You knew that they were going to have a hard time protecting him.
To the end zone, almost a brilliant catch inbounds. He came down with it, Reggie Wayne, but was out of the end zone.
That was a phenomenal catch that he's not going to get credit for because he was out of bounds. Watch as he spears this football and pulls it in and just he has no room. That's spear fishing.
Really? Are you kidding?
That's spear fishing right there.
What a catch. So 3rd and 10. Just 8 seconds left. Orlovsky finally gets rid of it, and touchdown. Jacob Tamme.
Yeah, with no time on the clock, they get that touchdown to Jacob Tamme. They'll have to come out, kick the extra point, and that'll be the football game. As the Colts manage to tack on a meaningless touchdown late, but Orlovsky buying some time in the pocket, and the Colts fall to 0-13 in what continues to be a nightmare of a season for this club.
Vinatieri on to try the extra point. Final play of the game. And the score will not be reflective of the dominance by the Baltimore Ravens as they move to 10-3. For Steve Tasker, this is Bill McAtee saying so long for Baltimore. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, and NFL Today Update presented by Verizon is coming up. We'll take you to New York for all the scores and highlights from Week 14 after this.